Hello there. I'm Frankie.
And I'm Cheyenne.
And we are
Conbini Cult.
Welcome to another episode. What are we going to talk about today?
Dumbass street interviews.
Yes.
Yes.
They're not all bad.
No.
But
yeah, just talking about street interviews in Japan in general. The good, the bad, I don't know, the silly, the frustrating, I guess, parts of them.
the
bizarre, what kind of questions get asked, and
what kind of questions we wish would get asked.
Yeah, and that's it. Just calling out the questions that get asked over
Again
and
and
over
again
as well.
again.
So yeah, just before we jump into that, how was your week? What's your life update?
So right before we were recording this episode, I went to an art exhibition.
Fun. Where? What art? What
So,
kind of art?
I'm very sorry, I forgot the artist's name, but I am going to, because this is someone I just discovered.
Oh, okay, nice.
His exhibition, like a video from it, came up on my FYP on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw that it was in Osaka.
Oh.
And then I checked on his Instagram to find the dates.
Mm-hmm.
And today was the last day.
No.
But they extended it until tomorrow because of the typhoon.
Okay, I was just going to tell you, send it to me.
If you're free tomorrow. But
I'm probably not. But just send it to me anyway.
It's okay. But he's from Osaka. So
Okay.
he's probably going to do more exhibitions.
He's like a Japanese person from Osaka, or like someone who's like living in Osaka. Okay, cool.
Yeah, a digital artist from Osaka. So yeah, I went to the exhibition before this. It's really hard to explain, but it's like very cool and creepy.
Ooh,
So I wanted to go.
No, okay.
And I went, and it was actually really busy. So I think I'm not the only one whose FYP that came up on.
Interesting. Creepy, like the illustrations or the art itself is kind of creepy, like creepy faces, or just like very dark, kind of Tim Burton-y creepy. I need to know before I look at it because I'm a little baby and I'm scared.
So it's because it's a digital thing. So there's all these little things that look like little tiny
doors. What are those?
They're like little tiny doors on the wall.
Okay.
But as you get closer to them, there's videos playing in them.
Okay.
So it looks like tiny people are trapped in the doors and the walls.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It's really cool. So you see it from far away and you're like, what is that? And then you get close to it and you're like, it looks like someone's soul is trapped in there.
Yeah, like back rooms and I don't know, Tim Burton-y kind of vibe, I guess.
Yeah. So the exhibition was, there were a lot of people there.
Yeah.
But as I was leaving, I saw like an older gentleman taking a picture from the entrance of all the crowd that was in there. And I was like, could that be the artist?
Oh.
So then I asked him, I was like, excuse me,
yeah.
is this your exhibition?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah. Oh, you speak Japanese? Like, well, Nihongo jozu desu ne.
And you're like, okay.
And then he was like, where are you from? And I said, I'm from the States, but I live in Osaka. This is really cool.
Nice, yeah. He was nice.
And then I got nervous, and then I was like, okay,
bye.
Sugoi, bye.
You didn't like get a picture with him, or I don't know, like ask for his signature or something like that.
But I'm sure because I started following his Instagram, so next time he has an exhibition, like, maybe I'll see him again.
Oh, so he's like an older guy.
Yeah, I think he's in his 60s.
Oh, okay, cool.
So he's not new to this, but yeah, utilizing social media.
Yeah, fun.
To get that art out there. It's really cool.
Cool. Maybe I'll check it out if I have time tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
already closed for today. So
okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Do you have any interesting things?
Interesting things, yeah. Speaking of the arts, so I will be going to a concert way ahead of time way far into the future in November. I'm going to see. Thanks. Yeah, I'm going to see Atarashi Gakko no Leaders. Do you know them? What are they called in English? New school leaders, or are they just called Atarashi Gakko leaders?
I think so. I think it's just Atarashi Gakko.
Yeah. They're a
cool.
Japanese band. They're really, really cool. They performed at Coachella this year or last year. So they're like making I think they're going on a world tour and stuff, but they're having a few shows in Japan as well. If you're familiar with them, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They sing, Otona Blue or Tokyo Calling, that's the one where they're all like going like this and crazy. Yeah. And in order to get that ticket, so it's kind of like funny timing. I'm talking about this now. I just saw you follow Mr. Patrick on like socials and stuff.
Oh, did he get the tickets?
I don't know if he got the tickets. Like, I don't know what band he's talking about. I just kind of scrolled past it today, but he's explaining the lottery process on how to get tickets. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. But basically, Japan has this system for not just concerts, for a lot of things where you need to enter a lottery just to be able to buy the tickets.
Yeah, for the chance to
buy the ticket. So what that means is, I think, you know, once someone, for example, is having like a concert, they're going to say like the tickets are coming out on this day at this time or whatever. And then everyone just sits in front of their computer and like refreshes. And it's a very much a first come, first serve kind of system. But in Japan, you have to, so they'll open it from like a certain date until, you know, let's say a week long or whatever. And you have to just enter your name like a lottery. And if you win the lottery, you don't even win the ticket yet. So that just means like, okay, you're able to buy a ticket. So you need to like, and then when you have to like keep checking too, because if you win that lottery to just be able to buy the ticket, you need to buy it. For example, if the results were announced on like, let's say Saturday, they're like, okay, you have until Monday at 5 p.m. to buy this ticket. So you need to like really be active to check your email and everything. I know a lot of people who like entered the lottery and then forgot to check like the results. Like they checked it a little too late. And
so
then
they
couldn't buy the ticket. They missed the sale. So if they won, they couldn't get the ticket. So Japan like really loves that lottery system. But anyway, it
is in a way, it makes it very fair.
Is it?
Because scalpers can't get the tickets.
Is that what it's for? Like I always wondered like why this system exists.
I think so.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's to keep it fair.
Okay. Well, I'm not complaining.
Anybody can win.
I want it, and I bought the tickets this time.
Yeah.
But, that happened to me when Billie Eilish came to Japan a few years ago. I didn't win the lottery to even buy the tickets, so I just couldn't go, and that like really sucked because I would have been one of those people that just bought it like, you know, at midnight or whenever that ticket came out. So anyway, that's the good news. I'm going to their concert in November, and I'm very, very excited.
Nice.
Do you like to go to live performances in Japan?
I haven't been to one since before COVID.
Yeah.
So I wonder how different it is now.
I think people are like finally getting back into it and warming up. I don't know. I always experience something different. Like, in my experience, seeing people like back in the States versus like seeing them in Japan, either like doesn't matter Japanese or foreign artists, like the vibe in Japan is just a lot more demure, very mindful, very cutesy. I don't know. Like no one is like screaming. No one is like singing along with the artist. Everyone just really like listens and they're kind of just bobbing their head.
Except if there's a fan chant.
Yeah.
So they don't really sing the whole song.
Yeah.
They'll just do the fan chant.
And it's like very choreographed too. So if a band has a specific section of their song where like usually with like towels that like say the band's name, like everyone in unison is like either swinging a towel together, but no one is there like freestyling, singing or whatever. It's very quiet compared to Western live performances. So I really hope this one, like people are kind of like, you know, energetic, because the band itself, Otarashigaku leaders, they are very energetic. So
well, if they have dances, then people will do that.
I don't know if they have like specific dance. I don't know. Actually, I've never really seen them perform live so much, like on TV or whatever. So I'm very excited. But I went to a Weezer concert in Japan, and like that one was pretty lively, surprisingly.
Oh, really?
Because I think the people who are like fans of Weezer and like that genre of like rock, I assume they're kind of just more like laid back and like, you know, rock and roll. So people were like singing and chanting and stuff. So it was a good time. But that's my update. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it depends on the concert, but usually you're not allowed to record.
Oh, yeah.
Either no photos, no videos.
Which is true. Which is like a bummer, but very, very nice, actually, in hindsight, you know. You're not blocked by anyone's like phone and stuff. So I do appreciate it.
It's good and bad.
Yeah.
You can enjoy the moment more. You're not like...
Very true.
Yeah, it's not like a sea of phones.
Also, like, is there anyone who actually like watches their own concert videos back? Have you ever like recorded at a concert and then you're like, I want to relive this memory, and then watch your like the footage you took?
No.
I tried. I think I did that once at the Weezer concert because you could record, and I recorded to like post on my stories and stuff like that. But I've never like thoughtfully gone back after that time to like watch it. And I think when I did once, I was singing and it was just awful. Like, I really hope
like,
people record that. Yeah, you're kind of like watching it back like, oh, actually, yeah, I don't need to remember this. So I deleted it. But yeah, it was a good time.
Okay.
Very excited. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Anyway, shall we get into it? I'm very excited.
Okay. So street interviews, huh?
No, street. How do you feel about street interviews?
I don't really watch them.
Yeah. They're all right. It depends on the question. I guess the kind of interview. I don't know. Like, what do you think? I think like because we're talking about street interviews in Japan specifically.
Yes.
In this episode, right? Because I mean, street interviews are super big. I think like now, no matter where you are, like in the US and other countries and stuff too.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true. Well, I do have a lot of thoughts on them, but I think those thoughts will unravel
as we go,
as the episode goes on.
Okay. Yeah. But overall, right now, nah. Not your thing?
I mean, sometimes they come up on my feed where I see other people sharing specific ones, but I'm not seeking them out. Yeah. I never go onto YouTube and I'm like, let me find
street
interviews about this.
Street interviews in Japan, like, I don't know, maybe a year ago or 2 years ago. Like they're just like weren't so many.
Oversaturated
now?
It's
like so oversaturated now. And everyone's just asking the same kinds of questions. And they're like not, maybe they were deep at the time, like, you know, a couple years ago, but now it's like, okay, like I get it. You don't want to date a foreigner or whatever they're asking. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, let's get into
There are some questions that get asked and asked again, like ones that I see being asked to Japanese people all the time.
From a Japanese person to a Japanese person? Okay.
They would say like, would you date foreigners? Or like, what country has the most attractive people?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or a Japanese person asking foreigners like, what do you think about Japanese people? Like, do you think Japanese men are handsome? Like, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I see that a lot where it's usually a Japanese guy asking like foreign girls, like, what do you think about Japanese guys? And like, it's very like maybe I think they're masking nampa, like hitting on someone behind a street interview, because that's just like a weird question to ask. I don't know, like
I don't know. If somebody asked me that, I'd be like, well, I don't know, it just depends on the person.
Yeah, really, it depends on the person. Have you seen there was a Japanese guy interviewing a Japanese couple, so it's a Japanese woman and a Japanese man, and he asked the guy like, do you prefer dating like dating foreigners, or sorry, what is like your type, like what kind of like features do you look for, like, and so this was this interviewer's wording, by the way. So he was like, do you prefer kind of like more Asian beauty or like gaikokujin, you know, like kind of like more westernized, like European standards, or like Asian, you know? And the guy was like, I like Asian beauty, you know, like I like Asian girls, like that's just his type and he's entitled to that, you know? And then he asked the girlfriend, or I don't know if it's his like girlfriend or someone he likes or whatever, but he asked her the same question and she's just like, yeah, I like more foreigner type faces. And then it was like an awkward silence. And then the boy, the interviewee, he just goes, omedetou gozaimasu. Congratulations to her. It's so funny and so awkward, but that interview I'm talking about, I'll get into like their account and everything later. But yeah, it was funny. I like awkward things like that because it's like, they're just looking for trouble.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway.
Yeah, I think there are some interviews, like interview questions that have gone very viral recently. Like the is prostitution cheating one was very big.
It's a big one. Comes up a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, it depends, because sometimes I feel like, well, obviously the videos are edited, so I feel like sometimes they're just choosing the answers that will be the most controversial.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just took out everyone who said yes, like prostitution is cheating.
Not cheating.
Right? Or sorry, what?
The prostitution is not cheating.
Oh, yes. Sorry, what?
Well, because there were a lot of men that were like, of course it's not cheating.
Oh yeah,
and then even
Sorry,
some women were like, "Oh no,
out,
as long as he doesn't love her."
Yeah, so they took out the people who were like
against it. Yeah,
like prostitution is cheating.
Yeah. So my partner was actually very pissed off about that. He's like, "Oh, I hate these so much. Like it's so
because your partner's Japanese.
It's so biased."
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't think that way. I don't think that way. My friends don't think that way. So it's really frustrating that this is going around now.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it has kind of like, what do you call it? Buzzed, like gone viral, like gotten pretty popular outside of Japan too. And so all the comments I'm seeing is like, oh my God, like how could they? Like people are being very judgmental towards Japanese people as like a group. They're being
now poisoned by the Westerners
because of this like one video, you know? So it's kind of like, okay, you know.
But it gets views, so there you go.
Yeah.
And then we talked about this on the previous episode, but like asking people, have you ever cheated before?
Yeah, that's a big question people like to ask. Like, could you? Well, I guess like the Logan Paul, Jake Paul type of YouTubers, I can imagine those kind of people like asking that in America. Like, have you ever cheated on someone? Like, but that's not like a typical interview question.
Yeah, that's very personal, right? I feel.
I don't know. Like, especially for a street interview, how random, you know? like how invasive, I guess.
Damn, what happened to hello? How are you?
How are you? My name is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that one does come up a lot. And then what is this third question you have here?
So I don't remember what. It was some guy asking, because I think the video has since been taken down. Oh. But it was a foreign guy who does speak Japanese very well. He was asking a Japanese guy like outside of a convenience store about unprotected.
Is it Conbini Confessions?
Not that one.
Oh, okay.
He's Japanese, right?
I don't know, to be honest. Yeah, probably, yeah.
I think he's Japanese, American or
something, yeah.
Yeah.
But he speaks English and Japanese.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but this is, like a foreign guy who's pretty fluent in Japanese. But he was asking the guy about like unprotected relations. And he was like, yeah, obviously. And then he was like, oh, do you ever see prostitutes? And he was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, so you still don't use protection? And he's like, no, of course not. And he was talking about how like all the STDs he's gotten.
Oh, like proudly.
Proudly.
Okay, so he's aware of.
So I think that's why it was taken down.
Oh, gnarly. Okay. That's really, isn't that a crime? Like
knowingly spreading stuff? Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. I think I know what interview you're talking about.
I don't remember who the interviewer is, but
it might be.
I heard that it's someone who tries to be controversial.
Oh, then I'm not too sure actually.
I'm not sure because that's the only one I've ever seen.
But
I don't know. Don't sue me.
If we want to go into a deep dive of this later. So when the way you started, explaining about like the STD question and stuff, I was assuming like, oh, okay, this goes to show, how I guess little education people have about like sexual health and STDs and everything here, because that's like a whole other thing.
I don't know what that education is like in school.
I mean, it's just like non-existent, really, or very I don't know, behind. I think a lot of people, I've seen like, not like rumors, but there's kind of like this stigma, or like I've heard some horror stories. I've heard from like, let's say, foreign women who have dated like Japanese men before and stuff, and so people share stories in there, and a lot of them have encountered men who like don't believe that Japanese people can get STDs.
Yeah, I saw.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, there was some kind of like,
belief? Thinking that they're immune.
Yeah.
But someone I saw on TikTok, but this person said that they went to the doctor to get like a routine check.
Okay.
And the doctor was like, have you slept with any like Japanese men? Like, which is a weird question.
Oh, that is.
And he was like, oh, well, then you don't need the test because Japanese people can't get STDs.
A doctor said that?
A doctor said.
Oh my God. Okay.
This was alleged.
Alleged. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who this doctor was anyway, but alleged.
Maybe my little disclaimer, we're not saying that like everyone believes this, by the way.
Yeah, or that everyone has diseases.
Yeah. But like, I think just
except that guy outside of the conbini.
And because
he admitted it.
Yeah, that's true. It could also just come from like, again, the stigma behind it and shame and, everything. Because I feel like, reproductive health, at least in the States, is depending where in the States you're from, is a lot more open. And I think going to like get checkups and things like it's just kind of like what you do, like to check in on yourself. And here, I don't know if people find like shame in that or if it's like scary or what, but it just seems very behind in that sense. Yeah. So I was like really surprised when you said the guy knew about all of like the STDs that he's had. I was true. Kind of thinking like, oh, maybe he's like one of those people that thinks he like that doesn't know much about them or like doesn't think he could get them. But yeah. All right. Well, then that is a freak. I don't know.
Yeah.
How to conclude that, but
that one was shocking.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, what are your thoughts?
I mean, who's to say it was true anyway? It's just a street interview.
Yeah, I know. It could just be for like content, obviously. So, so everything here is
alleged.
Alleged. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, how do you really know with any street interview? How do you know that that's their true opinion or?
How do you know that you love her? Yeah, exactly. Sorry. Okay, this is my TikTok brain rant. Have you seen that movie? Enchanted? Okay, well, never mind. Now I just look like a freak. Okay.
I'm sure somebody out there got it.
Thank you. All right.
To be honest, about street interviews, I don't think that people are going to share their true opinions with a stranger on the street holding a camera.
Very true. Yeah.
So
unless it's like
it depends what they're asking.
Documentary or something where you like have a specific thing you've like prepared to talk about.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, some of the questions are fun. You're just asked, like, do you like this thing? Or like, what's your favorite? Whatever. But I think for like the really, really deep and meaningful questions, you're not going to get a truthful response out of a street interview.
Yeah, not something like in the moment on the street like that. No, I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, because privacy is so big here too.
That's true.
I mean, in other places as well, people are reluctant to share their true opinions with strangers, but especially here. Yeah. Because, like Tatemae, Honne is like a real thing. Yeah. So Tatemae is like the face that you put on for the public. It's like masking. Yeah. And then Honne is your true feelings that you only share with people who you're very, very close with. So
very true.
Yeah. So that's
where you're going
essentially what I think about street interviews. Like it could be fun, but I don't think like the stuff that I want to know, I don't think you will get from a street interview.
There's a street interview. It's not in Japan. I think it's like maybe in New York City, actually. There's a guy where he kind of finds couples on the street and he just asks like, do you mind just sharing like how you met? And have you ever seen those before?
I think so.
And those are like, that's a really cute one, especially if like people have like a good story or something, So I think street interviews like that are totally fine. They don't mean any harm. They're just meant to like share people's stories, which is like should be the main purpose of interviews, not to like get content and like expose people or is that the word I'm looking for? Expose? No. Use
sometimes
people. Yeah.
Exploit.
That was the word. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Because on the topic of exploitation, I think there can be issues with consent sometimes. Yeah. Because a lot of people talk to drunk people and sure, they might be more unhinged. They might be more open. But like, can a drunk person really consent?
I've always wondered about that too, actually. I don't know. Because you have like, obviously, I'm sure there's this insane gray area for street interviews and like social media and like just using it for,
I guess it's not.
I don't think there's
I
any
don't know
like,
if it's illegal.
I'm assuming there's just like no regulations on it if like so many people can do it versus obviously if you get interviewed for like TV like TV programs, you have to sign like a waiver and stuff.
Yeah.
Although, and I guess I'm assuming the people signing a waiver, they're going to be used in the footage. But when I participated in the Galmikoshi like last month, I got the program, if you're familiar, like you like why did you come to Japan or something? Like they interviewed me. And
they did.
So I got interviewed. I wasn't like the main person. They were like focusing on the entire time. But like they did interview me. So but they didn't ask like I didn't sign anything. They didn't get my information. I didn't sign a waiver saying like, can we use this on TV or anything? And so maybe the reason for that is I haven't seen the episode. So maybe the reason for that was like, because I just got cut and they're not going to use me. Or if they just like maybe TV as well. There's like no really, I don't want to say there's no regulations, but like I guess depending on how much airtime you're getting or like how many questions you're getting asked, they're kind of just like, yeah, you're like, you answered one question, so you're just like in the background, so you don't need to sign anything. I don't know, but like I don't really sign anything. Maybe I shouldn't say that. But yeah.
You want me to cut it?
No, I don't think it matters.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it might depend on the program and the topic and that kind of stuff. Because I know, well, they're not a TV program, but the YouTube channel Ask Japanese, that's hosted by Kathy Cat, they do street interviews, but they get signed permission.
And that was just like something they decided to do, like for
I think
safety
so,
and like they because they're like
professionalism.
A good person. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also on the issue of consent, I think like talking to kids for street interviews is also kind of I don't like it.
Yeah. Like for the
especially when their parents are not there. Like
when the parents aren't there, I don't know, but again, that could just be a difference in like laws and stuff here too. I don't know if it's like okay to just.
I don't know if it's okay or not, but yeah, sometimes you see like people go into the park and they're like, how do Japanese kids react to foreigners?
Yeah, that's true. Like especially with what's that TV show? Getsuyo kara yofukashi. So I don't know what it's called in English, but it has like Matsuko Deluxe and Murakami Shingo, probably like some dude from like Johnny's way back in the day. Journeys. But
the shoe store.
yeah. So he used to work at a shoe store now. But
and then he worked for John.
For John. Oh God, which is okay. We don't need to get into that. But
never mind.
Anyway, that's like a nightly program specifically focusing on street interviews, kind of like I don't know, Billy on the Street or like what's the equivalent like in the US, you know? But they ask kids some questions and stuff, and usually their parents are standing with them, so that makes sense to me. I'm like, yeah, they probably signed a consent form or a waiver. But sometimes like the parents aren't in the frame, which like I get it, they could be behind the camera, but sometimes they're asking like high schoolers or junior high schoolers where it's like very clear we're out hanging out without their parents, and they're on TV now. So I wonder like, I hope they're at least calling the parents and like getting some kind of like permission over the phone, or I don't know how it works. So I'm not gonna like say like I know anything, but it is interesting.
We're just wondering.
If anyone knows, if anyone works in like media and TV or whatever, let us know.
Because we're wondering.
Yeah, but it is interesting when like kids show up with their parents. Yeah.
Your thoughts?
My thoughts, my overall thoughts is like I'm not against them. I don't hate interviews and like street interviews. It's just all very saturated now at this point. So I would like to see something, I guess, different. I think they're just really dumb. I don't know, like most of the ones I've seen recently, they're all pretty dumb. I need to like take a cough break.
Take a drink.
Orange juice break. Damn, chug. Juice. I love juice. I'm a juice girl. Okay. But anyway, my thoughts on street interviews was nothing like too profound, I guess. I don't hate them, but I don't love them. They're all just kind of like, especially in reference to Japanese street interviews or like street interviews in Japan, they're all very, I don't know, basic and silly at this point. Yeah. But I'm still watching them because I like to hear what people have to say, no matter how silly, unless it's about that prostitution is cheating thing or it isn't cheating thing, then I'll skip a video.
Yeah. Is there anyone that you regularly watch?
Yeah. I think their name is Tokyo Sims on TikTok and Instagram. I'm pretty sure most people who keep up with like Japan content have like seen them at least once in their feed and stuff. It seems I did as well. Yeah. Frankie did.
I screenshotted the video and it was from that account.
They're just very dumb. Like, I don't know, like, and the reason why I don't like
the questions.
The questions are silly. I mean, the questions are like the very basic, like, have you ever cheated before? Like, what's your type? Or like, sometimes they get very personal. Like, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened while you were like in relations with someone, you know? So they're very like deep and personal questions, I would say, but it's like the people answering them that is just so silly to watch. And like the answers they give are also very, I don't know, like open. Like I wouldn't say anything in detail about myself like to that degree as much as like the people that have gone on this interview have. But I kind of just like it because the interviewer, at least one of them, the way they edit it is just kind of funny too, because he'll like look at the camera and like you can tell he's just like, what did I just like walk into? You know, like a lot of the time he's just like, why are you like this? You know, like same. He kind of asked like someone, have you ever cheated before? And he asked the person like, do you have a girlfriend? And he was like, yes. And he's like, have you ever cheated? And he's like, yes, like now on her. and so it's like, you're like on social media, like you can just say no, you know? And so, but the guy was just like being so open about it. So the interviewer was just like looking at the camera, like, you know, like.
But do you think sometimes people just say these outlandish things?
I'm sure.
Just
like,
to go viral?
At this point, yeah, I'm sure everyone's trying to go viral. I'm sure like they're not stopping it because they're like, oh, good content, you know? So I'm not like a super fan, you know? I'm like, I love this interview. It's just like, yeah, I'm not going to skip over one because they're all just so dumb.
It's entertaining.
Like, yeah, it's entertaining. It's just for entertainment. Yeah, for sure. I wish it wasn't so saturated though, because I do like talking to people and interviewing people as well. And like, I guess we don't have to do it on the street. They can sit right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like kind of my main takeaway on like the entertaining side. But one refreshing recent street interview I've seen is, her name is Girls Interview Japan. I see her a lot on TikTok, and it's a Japanese girl, or lady, I should say, that interviews only other Japanese girls. And she'll ask them, you know, I would say like more meaningful or just deeper questions that like affect, you know, women, and specifically Japanese women. And a lot of it has to do with like, you know, do you feel like societal pressure to look a certain way, you know, as a Japanese woman? Or like, what has your experience in the workplace been like for you? You know, things like that. And sometimes they get really sad because, you know, you can see how, I guess, Japanese society has really affected women here. And so she will ask, you know, sometimes like, do you consider yourself like overweight? And they're like very clearly not, you know, and but everyone says yes, you know. And so it gets really deep into like the conversation about body image and body issues and stuff. So I would say if you're looking for, I guess, a different take that's not about cheating or STDs or anything, just more about like a Japanese woman's perspective on like, yeah, what it's like living here. I think that's like a good street interviewer, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. If you yourself could ask Japanese people anything and get an honest answer.
Not like a drunk
yeah, not a drunk answer.
Yeah.
Like a very honest honne answer.
Yeah.
Oh, should that be the word of the day?
Honne? Oh yeah, we're bringing back the word of the day.
Honne. Yeah.
Tatemae.
Sorry.
Yeah. That's it.
There you go. It'll be in the description.
Nice.
But yeah, if you could get an honest answer, what would you want to know?
So I thought of a couple, and then I tried to be like really deep about it. So if I ever think of something later, maybe I'll like type it up in the comments or something. But one of the questions I came up with is, do you actually think men and women are equal in Japan? Like, what are your views on like equality here? I would like to know people's thoughts on that.
Would you ask that to both men and women?
Yes, I would like to. And I would hope to get honest answers and hopefully positive answers as well. I mean, I know realistically it's probably not going to be a positive answer, but yeah. But yeah, how about you? What is one of your questions?
One of the things I would like to know is, I would also ask both men and women, I guess, for all these questions. Yeah. But what do you think is the real reason for the declining birth rate?
That's a great question.
And the best way to fix it? Because I don't know, the government has some wild
ideas
about
Ooh,
how
like
to fix
what's
it.
what's one
But what
of
did the
them?
people really want?
Yeah, that's true. I think a lot of our questions have to do with like let's say if we're asking an individual, I'm sure the individual answer or like the general outcome of all answers of the questions we're asking is like the person might feel like a certain way, but they're like, but I can't do anything about it because of the way the government is set up or because of the way society is set up here, I feel like that's going to be an answer for most of these questions. Yeah.
What else you got?
One of my other questions was, what is something you wish Japan would get rid of? So it can be something serious, or it can be something like silly. But yeah, what is something you wish they'd get rid of? For example, in my opinion, we don't need washiki toire anymore. We don't need the ground toilets. Yeah. That's something we can get rid of. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, it can be serious or it can be silly. Yeah. Well, what is something you would get rid of?
Something I would get rid of? Not having the ability to email a PDF.
Oh, that's like in a company, like.
So I guess I'm coming after the fax machines.
Yeah. You're right. So get rid of the fax machines.
Get rid of the fax machines.
Okay. Yeah, very true. What's one of yours?
I would also ask, just generally, what societal issue do you wish would change? So maybe, I guess that's kind of similar to what would you get rid of.
Yeah,
it could be an item, it could be an issue.
I would get rid of
xenophobia,
sexism. Yeah, xenophobia and sexism. Unequal pay. Yeah, exactly. Another question I would like to ask is, have you ever not done something because you were scared of how society or like just your family or your friends would view it?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. What you?
Maybe because we kind of talked about before how cheating culture is, I mean, I don't know, based on the statistics, I don't know if they cheat more here or not, but the views on cheating culture are
just different. Yeah.
So yeah, I just want to ask more about that and like why it is the way it is.
Yeah, I wonder if it's well, based on those street interviews, I guess the young people also are still cheating a lot, but like,
well, yeah, the ones that we're seeing,
yeah,
they're like, but like, I love cheating.
Yeah, it's fun. And again, not everyone. Alleged, like this is just from what we've seen.
These are just the people in the street interviews.
But I wonder if there's
the edited street interviews.
Yeah, like data out there, like a survey, depending on the age and like the generation of people, if it's changing and if more people do view cheating differently than older people here in Japan. I'm very curious. Yeah,
that's true.
Because like I know like affairs and having like secret long-term affairs or like kind of just like a don't ask, don't tell policy between like older couples is very prevalent here. So I wonder if like people still view that as normal, like in our generation. I don't know.
Yeah. This is completely unrelated, but I saw a really funny TikTok the other day. I think they were talking about the US, but they were like, the economy is so bad. Men can't afford to have secret families anymore.
It sounds like one of those AI made videos, like a working man, a father of four, like, cannot afford to feed his family anymore and have a secret family, like based on the economy of the US. Have you ever seen those videos like that are just AI generated? No, and they're so fake. But like I know there's a boomer out there who's like watching that and believing it's real news.
Well, the boomers are believing everything.
Oh yeah.
So another unrelated note, but my mom sent me a video the other day of this like Hello Kitty fairy, but it was so obviously AI.
Yeah.
She was like, "Look at this cool thing," and I was like, "That's AI." And she was like,
"What's AI?"
What's AI? She literally asked, "What's AI?" I think she put a hashtag too. What's hashtag AI? What?
Hashtag,
and I was like, it's artificial
AI?
intelligence. And she was like, what does that have to do with this video?
Oh.
I was like, it's not real. And she was like, so I can't ride this ferry?
So I can't ride the ferry?
Yeah.
Wait, you're talking... Okay, wait.
I wish it was real.
Okay, no. You're talking about a ferry like a boat?
Yeah, like a cruise ship.
Oh, okay.
But it was Hello Kitty, but it was very obviously AI generated.
I thought we were talking about like yosei, like a fairy, like a winged little fairy.
Oh no, ferry,
Okay.
cruise, a boat.
Okay. I was like a Hello Kitty fairy, like with wings, and I was like, okay, well, that's cute. And like,
no, the boat.
I don't know where I was going with that. I see. Cleared that up. Thank you.
Should I link the video below?
Yeah,
with the AI Hello Kitty fairy.
I'm curious. I feel like that would exist, like in general, you know, because Japan has a lot of like themed things,
but not the way that it looked in this video.
I see. It was like very obviously AI.
Yeah. But speaking of fairies, Japan has some very nice overnight ferries.
Oh, right.
There you go. Anyway, so something funny I would like to ask people is when you use the public restroom, do you wash your hands with soap after?
Be honest. Okay. The last question I had, it was more directed towards like hafu or like mixed Japanese people here. Mm-hmm. So kind of what was the most challenging, annoying, or just frustrating thing about growing up in Japan? And what is something about like your identity or just being mixed or half in general that you wished other Japanese people would just kind of understand or would just get, I guess. Yeah. Very curious.
That's interesting too.
Yeah. And I'm always thinking about that one too, especially when it comes to, you know, kids and raising kids and depending like where they grow up and stuff, because I know I'm going to have a lot, you know, a different experience from other foreigners just because I'm like, you know, also culturally Asian and like Asian passing. I am Asian. You know, I am Asian. Sorry. That was wrong wording. I am Asian, but my partner is Japanese. And so like, if we do have kids here, they're going to be hafus in a sense, you know, like American and Japanese. But I think if we're just talking about looks, I'm sure they would have a different experience based on like, you know, other mixed kids who don't fit into like that quote unquote standard of like what Japanese people think Japanese people look like, you know? And so I'm always curious like what it would be like to raise kids who are mixed cultures or like what it was like for kids of mixed cultures to grow up here. So yeah,
that would be interesting. Hopefully maybe somebody can ask some of these questions, get some real answers.
Yeah, if there's any Japanese people watching who speak English, please let us know. Yeah, especially any mixed people out there. Let us know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Is that all we had?
Yeah, but I have a few interesting news stories that we could go over pretty quickly.
Nice.
So, all right, here's one. Because the summer season, well, technically it's still summer, but like beach season is coming to an end.
Yeah.
So I thought I would share this story now.
Okay.
But so there was, I'm not sure if she was a tourist or a resident, but a Chinese woman in her 20s was on like a floating ring. And she got swept out to sea. In Shizuoka. And they found her.
Good.
36 hours later.
Oh, man.
The Coast Guard found her.
She was like, okay. I mean, I'm sure she was very, you know.
She was very.
For, like, health
I mean, she was
everything.
conscious, but she was very like out of it.
Yeah.
When they found her. But seems like she's okay. Luckily.
Good.
But can you imagine how terrifying that would be?
That is
spending a night at sea?
Not a night. 3, right? 36 hours? Oh, wait.
That's a day and a half.
That's a day and a half. I'm so dumb. I was
36
3
days at sea.
Yeah. I was thinking 36 equals 3 days. No. Nope. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm an English teacher, not a math teacher. All right. Anyway. But,
whoa. Interesting.
But,
so the Coast Guard launched a search for the woman after she went missing from a beach in Shimoda City, Shizuoka Prefecture, at about 7:30 p.m. on Monday.
Okay.
Last week. Or sometime in August. 7:30 p.m. That's pretty late.
That is late. Was it? I mean, even the sun. Yeah, the sun sets later in Japan in the summer, but like 7:30, it's already pretty dark.
The sun's going down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she had at least one full night out there.
Oh, that's scary.
That is so terrifying.
I'm like, really scared of open water. Like, it's kind of like.
Same.
Hazakashi, like kind of shame because I'm from Hawaii.
Oh yeah, what?
And so like I love the ocean. I love swimming, but maybe it's like as I've gotten older, I just have like, you know, when you get older, you just develop like fears and stuff over time. I don't know if that's like,
Yeah.
or like you just think about
No,
like
that's a thing.
the dangers of like, you
Yes.
know, because your brain is like developed now. But like,
Yes.
like recently I've like gotten really scared of not the ocean itself, but like deep ocean water and like open
Yes.
ocean is like
Yes.
terrifying to me.
I also fear that.
Yeah. And so like just to think about being out there for
Torture.
36
Yeah,
hours
that's
is
my
so
nightmare.
scary. So not kudos, but like I'm really glad this lady is doing okay now, it seems. That is insane. There's like so many movies about that too, isn't it's like based on a true story. There's a movie about like this couple, they're like on a honeymoon and they go on a scuba diving tour or something, and then the boat like leaves them behind. I don't think they got like accounted for in the when everyone returned back to the boat.
Oh, when
And
they
so,
did a head count, they didn't find them.
And
Oh
so
my
like when
gosh.
they like went back up, they're like, "Where's the boat?" And they were like out at sea for a while. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
That's so
is
scary.
terrifying to me.
Gosh. Well, yes, I'm very glad they found her. Very glad she's okay.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably gonna have some PTSD.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. The next one is not terrifying.
Oh.
But, okay. Austrian man, 61, arrested for allegedly engaging in sexual act at a shrine, witnessed by a visitor to the shrine. Oh my
gnarly.
gosh. An Austrian man, 61, was arrested on suspicion of disrespecting a place of worship after engaging in sexual acts with a woman in the grounds of a shrine in Kisenuma, Miyagi Prefecture. According to the police, the man is suspected of engaging in sexual acts with a woman in her 40s who lives in the city in the shrine grounds a little after 11:30 a.m.
Oh, like midday?
On August 22nd.
All right, out in the open. Okay.
11:30 a.m. The two were engaged in the act at a public place, and a visitor to the shrine witnessed them and reported them.
Oh.
When questioned by police, the man reportedly said, I will remain silent until my lawyer arrives.
Okay.
The man is believed to have been in Japan as a tourist, and police are continuing their investigation into the circumstances at the time.
Okay.
What the heck?
That's gnarly. Speaking of like, you know, shrines and like disrespecting shrines, there was another incident at
Yasukuni
Shrine. Yeah.
Oh.
Someone in Chinese again, or no, I think in English this time, wrote toilet.
Again?
Yeah, in like spray paint. Again. Yeah. So that's becoming a thing now, I guess. All right.
Okay. And while we can still talk about summer, there was a thing recently. So Yamato Transport, not the Australian,
not Raygun doing her little breakdance.
actual Yamato.
Australian or the kangaroo hawk. Yeah, okay.
Yamato Transport. So in their warehouse, the workers were going on strike because it was too hot in there. It was exceeding 40 degrees.
Oh, hell no.
And basically the company, in a nutshell, responded by just removing the thermometer.
What? And so what? People just went back to work like, oh, it's okay because I can't see it. I can't see how hot it is now. That sucks. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people just like need that job, and so they like
it's
can't,
really cruel.
You know?
How hard is it to just give them air conditioning?
Is there no air conditioning at all?
Give them a fan jacket, give them something. There's something you can do.
So wait,
besides remove the thermometer.
There was like no AC in the warehouse or where they're working at all.
Yeah, it
and
seems like
they were like
no
protesting to like at least get an AC.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, and they just took away the thermometer.
Yeah, they went on strike, citing insufficient heat stroke prevention measures, and demonstrated in front of the company's headquarters in Minato Ward, Tokyo. He said that on some days while working, the thermometer in the warehouse exceeded 40 degrees. The man held a press conference on the same day with the labor union he belongs to, the General Support Union, and called for improvements to the working environment and the provision of work clothes with fans.
What the heck?
Just give them that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, man.
Yeah.
For people. Thank you, Yamato people, for all that you do and for transporting all of our stuff, delivering our packages. Yeah.
Yep.
That's all I can say.
Okay.
Anyway, stay safe in the heat. Yeah, it's getting cooler-ish. It's not 35 degrees anymore. It's 32, 31, you know.
Yeah, but I feel like it cooled down a little bit because of the typhoon,
Yeah.
and now it's
You
getting
think
hot.
it's gonna get hot again? Is it gonna rain tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so. I
I
don't know.
Okay, well,
I
stay
don't
safe.
know. Ask Mother Nature.
No.
I don't know.
Maybe I'll Google it later, I guess. But
No, I think it is gonna rain a lot this week. Maybe. Maybe.
Well, I hope it's not like nothing too crazy, like
A typhoon.
public transport gets. I know, but like if it like took this
another
long
one.
and it
Another
like
one.
passed. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
I hope there's not another one. It seems like there's a lot this year.
Yeah.
But just in general, the weather's getting crazier.
Yeah, I need to buy an emergency like backpack and like things for a kit because I don't have one, which is really bad. So maybe I'll buy some rice on the way home if I can find it too.
If you can find it. No, I think you have to go to the store when it opens.
Oh, like that early?
Line up
I'll just buy like
it.
the microwavable rice, I guess. They have
they do have those
still. Yeah.
And it should be easier to find brown rice if you
Yeah.
that.
I love brown rice. So maybe I'll just buy that too.
Yep.
All right. Sounds good. Well, stay safe wherever you are. And thank you for listening and watching.
And we'll catch you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.